Anything that could go wrong is going wrong this morning with the broadcast, folks, but that's okay because we are not quitters. We are winners here. So I'm going to check this stream and
Some
make
days
sure.
go like that.
Dude, I'm telling you what, the microphone doesn't want to work. The fancy cam's going out. It's like that sometimes. Let me make sure this. Anything that could go wrong. See, it's working, but it's just not registering correctly.
Show up.
Tell you what, Steve's talking smack, but you know what, folks? This is a lesson. When big things are happening in your life, that means there's going to be big obstacles,
too. You got to be ready to adapt in anything.
It is all part of the game. Here's the intro. We'll be right back. Cash, coming in fast. Relative info on investments that will smash. Miss out on this, you'll be coming in last. Acoustic force, bringing the intro blast.
Hey, this is Vanilla Ice, and I'm chilling with my man, Lasater. And I want to tell you, one command: stop, collaborate, and listen. Key City Capital is about to throw down. So get it how you live it, and always remember, cash, baby. Bet.
I have had a number of sellers that have told us that we got the deal because we touched their property, we touched them, we had marketing to them, we were in front of them more often than our competition was.
Man, I'll tell you what, I was just telling you about how much I like that line. How are we going to get
follow up and follow through
right in front of people to get the deal? Because business is competitive.
Yeah. I mean, and that's in any business. We've been off for 2 weeks. We had a 2-week break because we run a business, right? And everything in business, it doesn't matter which business it is, whether it's our property business, whether it's our coaching business, whether it's our investment, our capital raising business. It doesn't matter what it is. Follow up and follow through. That's where 75% or more of your deals come from. Anybody can generate leads. I mean, once you figure out how to generate leads, then you got to figure out how to maximize the efficiency with those leads. And you see that in every business. And if you don't follow up and if you don't follow through, then deals don't happen.
Well, right. And I see a lot of people, and I've posted this before, you know me on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I think people get confused because they think that if they show up, that they're going to be successful.
Yeah.
Like I showed up today, how early we had errors. The camera doesn't want to work correctly.
Yeah.
So then we had to go find the webcam, and we did this. I upgraded the software. There were some things that weren't showing up the same way. Like just showing up this morning early wasn't enough. We're a couple minutes late.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not enough.
Showing up is a big portion of it, but anybody can show up. So if you show up before and you stay after, right? And you show up more often than anybody else, then you've at least got the game started. But you've got to be able to adapt. You've got to adapt to anything that's going on. And so, I mean, that's adapting kind of brings us into part of what we were going to talk about today. We've got a number of things going on in our business that have come because of follow up and follow through and persistence, being persistent, constantly going after what it is that we're focused on going after. With precision. And so being able to adapt happened. So this weekend, I was in San Francisco Friday, Saturday, Sunday, was supposed to leave mid-Sunday afternoon to go to Hawaii for another event in Hawaii. Family was coming out to meet me. They were going to get to enjoy some time in Hawaii while I was at a mastermind event. And so on Sunday, late morning Sunday, I have a 4:30 flight on Sunday. I had to leave downtown San Francisco by 3 o'clock at the latest to make it in time to get through checkpoint and everything to get on the flight. And at 10:45 or 11, I got a notification about an opportunity that I was going to have to possibly go to South Africa again. And so at 10:45, I'm thinking, well, crap, I'm going to be doing the opportunity. I had to be at a meeting at 2:30. I knew that the 2:30 meeting would probably not be over in time to make my flight.
Right.
So this is day of a couple hours before, and I start scrambling. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? So I immediately called Justine. Justine, I've got to have new flights that get me into Hawaii no later than 1:30 on Monday
Right.
but I'm not making my flight today because of an opportunity that came up.
It's
What
more
can you
important.
do for me?
Yeah.
And so she starts scrambling and looking around, and I mean, it was already a long flight from, I think I was going San Francisco down to LA and then over to Hawaii. She scrambles around, found some different things that took me up to Seattle, that took me to Phoenix, that took me all different kinds of places, and finally found one that got me into Hawaii by 2 o'clock on Monday. And so we made the changes. I made the meeting and ended up getting the opportunity to go do. So now I've got 3 events back in South Africa.
Nice.
Next week.
Oh,
Right? And
I didn't
so
know
this
they were
is
that
quick.
soon.
Yeah, it's be
Because
ready
we
to
literally
adapt, right?
haven't even had a chance to talk.
So no, we haven't had a chance to talk. So I'm supposed to be in Atlanta on Friday and Saturday for the event
for the Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone.
Gary V, JT Fox.
Nice.
And so I'm there on Saturday for that event. I've got meetings on Friday in Atlanta. And I'm literally leaving from Atlanta mid-afternoon after the event on Saturday to Amsterdam, then down to South Africa, and then 3 events in South Africa.
Dude.
And this is all within 10 days. And so it's being prepared, right? So preparation plus practice plus persistence.
Yeah,
equals
over prepared.
success,
I mean, you're over
right?
prepared, really.
So I mean, I had less than 2 weeks really to get everything finalized and put together. I already had flights and everything booked. All that had to change. But anyways, it's, you show up, but then you've got to be ready to adapt. And then you've got to be persistent about whatever it is that you're going to do,
Right.
and follow through, constant follow through. These things wouldn't have happened if I don't continue to follow through and,
Right.
and be prepared. Because it was between myself and 2 other people who are as qualified as I am to go to South Africa. And because of my preparation and persistence, I was the one that ended up getting the deal. And so this is the same thing that goes through in all of our businesses. Follow up, follow through, follow up, follow
Right.
through. Talking to Malia this morning about an opportunity that she has, because she was following through with a friend that she's known for a long time. Because she continued to follow through with her, though, she found out that she works with a capital investment company that's looking to invest in big multifamily deals. So we've got a meeting set up with them because we continue to follow through on every aspect of our business.
Right. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And again, it goes back to even with just doing stuff to put yourself out there and get noticed. Like the Gary V posted a little jingle thing on his Twitter the other day. I had 20 minutes to try and post something. So I posted the first thing that came to my mind.
Right.
And then a week later, I'm on his page and people are calling me, ordering songs. And it's like, I've been pushing for people to purchase songs and put me on events and do this and this and that. And then all of a sudden, all that kind of crams through the door at the same time.
Exactly. Well, it kind of goes back to, so I mentioned practice and preparation a while
Right.
ago. So the problem with so many business owners is they get into business and they're like, well, I'm just going to do business. I'm going to make money in business, whatever your business is, whether it's real estate, whether it's you invest in other businesses, whether you own, a small business or whatever the case may be. People get into business and then they just forget about practicing. But if
Right.
you look at it, and so for me, I understand the importance of practice because I played college sports,
Right.
played football in college and everything, and so we practice
You have
in
to
order to
stay
prepare
sharp.
for Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Well, same thing with professional athletes. Like professional athletes go through all of this. They go through high school, then they go through college, and they become a professional athlete. They don't just quit practicing at that point. Like they still practice, they still prepare. Now at that point, they prepare even more because they have to prepare their bodies. Their bodies are no longer 20-year-old bodies.
Right.
They're bruised, they're beaten, they've aged, and so they have to prepare their bodies differently than they did before. Well, the same thing is true in business. Like if you just wake up tomorrow and decide like I'm going to be a business owner today, and then you wake up the next day and you're going to be a business owner and you continue to do the same things over and over, you're not going to get any different results. And
Right.
so I constantly practice and prepare for situations that I might be put in as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and opportunities that might come up. Same
Right.
thing with you. You're constantly doing little jingles that may not be prevalent to anything at the time, but you're doing it so that when opportunity arises, you're ready and you're sharp and
Yeah.
you're prepared and you can follow through. We've got a meeting coming up here in a little bit, so sorry my phone's going off, but you're constantly prepared because you practice business.
Right.
Same thing with me. Like I practice my presentations. I practice my whatever content that I'm going to be working on. I practice putting myself into situations that I otherwise wouldn't be in, so that when I'm notified at 10:45 on Sunday of a meeting that is a competition basically between myself and two other people, I'm prepared for that.
Right.
So then at that point, it's just like, well, give me the content that I need to be prepared for, and I'll adjust whatever it is that I practice accordingly.
Right.
And so we had a topic that was just spur of the moment. We got a topic, talk on this. You've got, an hour or so to prepare. Well, I've already got content that I've been utilizing that I can put into that presentation so that I can utilize it at that point, because I've prepared and practiced before
Right.
to be in a situation like that.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah,
Instead of
absolutely.
just-
I mean, there's guys now on the internet that have been working 15 and 20 years to make a break for themselves, and people around them aren't surprised when those jumps happen
Yeah.
because they've been preparing and
Exactly.
preparing and preparing.
For 10 years. and
I
whatever the
post a
case
lot
may
about
be.
Tim Grover because I met him at the Grant Cardone Growth Con, and I was like, man, I really wanted to play each day. Like I wanted to play all 3 days because I thought that would like maximize my exposure this weekend. And you know what I mean? This and that. While we were talking, he's like, did you only need one?
Yeah. Yeah.
You need one shot
and knock it
You
out.
hit that one shot and you move on.
Yeah.
Period. We all get one shot this weekend. So
Yeah.
think of it like that.
Yeah, that's exactly
Totally
it.
changed my perspective from, hey, I want to do so much to let's laser sharp in that 10 minutes that you get.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, I mean, yeah, the big thing out of this is just preparation. You can't wake up as a business owner and decide that you're just going to go through the motions today. You've got to think outside the box, throw the box away, and what situations might I be in? And like we had, I just got back in town late yesterday. Boone is out of town. He's in Michigan, and then him and Mac leave again on Thursday to go on another event. And so we're all gone. Well, we've been working on this really big deal that's supposed to close on Wednesday.
Yeah, he told me that there was some
and
stuff
all of a sudden, like there was a whole bunch of stuff that just came up as issues. And so we spent an hour on the phone last night game planning around those issues. But because we prepare and because we have gone through situations like this before and we've documented what we did in those situations, we're able to go back and put a plan in place to make sure that we can still close, because this is a big deal with the properties that we're buying from this guy. He's also going to be a potential construction partner, and he's got more properties that he potentially wants to sell. The funds that he's getting from this deal, he's applying to another deal that he's doing. So there's a number of reasons that we cannot extend this deal, right? We have to get it done on Wednesday because we've prepared, because we practice constantly of being in a situation that we're not ready for. We're able to succeed when we get into those situations. So for business owners, like that's what I want to go out and I want to impress. We've got to impress upon you. We've got a short time this morning. We have an 11 o'clock meeting, but I want you to understand that in business, you can't just wake up and decide that you're going to be a successful business owner. You've got to do things every single day that get you ready and prepared for what could come tomorrow.
Right. You got to sharpen those skills.
Exactly. You've got to continually sharpen those skills. Like that's why I continually go to coaching. That's why I have coaches and consultants all throughout our businesses. That's why I've got like time set aside every day to practice and prepare for certain aspects of our business that may not be prevalent and happening today, but they could happen tomorrow or the next day.
And I'm glad you said that too, because that's part of the reason why we made the jump to the Texas marketplace, because these are people that are all like-minded and that are all getting coached and that are building and that are building and that are building and that are sharpening their skills. And that's what I need to be around.
Right.
If I want to continue to grow what I do, if I want to be the best at what I do and build my own company and my own brand and take on my own in-house employees one day, who am I positioning myself around to make that possible?
Exactly. And if
I
you're
love
not-
singing at the beach bar, but it ain't going to cut it anymore,
Right.
man.
And if you're not constantly preparing for that growth, you're not going to be ready
It's not
for
going
it
to be
when it's time.
Yeah,
right.
it's not going to be. You're not going to be able to execute when it's time.
Exactly.
So
So we've got an 11 o'clock meeting this morning. So again, focus on preparing and practicing for things that could come up, opportunities that could come up, growth that is coming up in your business. If you're wanting to grow your business, you've got to start practicing today and preparing today for the growth that will happen tomorrow. If you're not doing today what it is that you want to be ready for tomorrow, then you're not going to be able to implement tomorrow when the time gets here.
We love you guys. We'll see you soon. Ty's been super busy. A lot of events coming up. I'm sure we'll be sharing all the pictures and videos and all that jazz. And keep doing what you do. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon.